So I've been really wanting to do a fairy tale discussion for a while now. It's been ages since I've even talked about anything remotely like fairy tale in a discussion or news-wise. So I've been wanting to do this for a while actually, and it's going to be talking about what I'm currently thinking that's going to be happening in the current arc as well, the Alvarez arc, and also as well talking about a bit about the fairy tale's ending supposedly coming near, and a lot of things about the final fights and some of the fights that are going to be happening in this arc. Now a lot of people are discussing that this is going to be fairy tale's final arc, and to be honest, I don't think this is going to be the final arc in fairy tale. I think like from what we've been hinting at for like the latest chapters about the whole start of Ragnarok, and if people don't know, like as I've been saying, like it's also another meaning about Dragon Festival as well, that there's going to be a new Dragon Festival and Zeref is going to revive it by having a giant Acnologia and himself. Now, to be honest, if you don't know what Ragnarok means, it's in Norse mythology, it means the end of God. Like that's some pretty heavy shit to even think about, like the end of God. So honestly, I think that's what pretty much is hinting what the last arc is going to be called. It's going to be called Ragnarok. And honestly, I can see this in the final arc of Fairy Tail, that shit is just going to go down. Zeref is just going to start slowly destroying the planet bit by bit. And he's like, not until I see Natsu, like one final time. If he can finally stop me, if not, who's going to lose? Like, your only hope's going to be Acnologia, who's going to rule over you? Like, no fucking way. So I feel like he's definitely going to involve, like, kind of the whole world at one point, and then it's up to, like, Fairy Tail and getting to, like, take care of it. I can definitely see that, like, what they're trying to do with Alvarez, they're trying to, like, this is going to be building up into that situation, since, you know, like he said straight up to Acnologia, it's going to take some time for me to even go there. And then not to mention as well, the whole fight's going with the 12 shields, with the 12 shields as well. For the most part in this arc, we have got quite a lot of people. We've got Natsu, Grey, Lucy, Urza, Wendy, Gagio, Julia, Makarov, Levi, Elfan, Mira Jane, Kana, Lisana, Laxus, and all the Raijin tribe is going to arrive there. Not to mention as well, you've got Mess. That's around about like 8, if you including the cats as well, that's around about 20 people that are already going to be in this arc already. Now, like I said, there's like who's going to fight who in like the 12 shields. Most of the time, how it normally works when Fairy Tail, Natsu normally gets 2 fights, so I'd imagine he's obviously going to fight Sarah. I think Sarah is going to be the big thing in this arc that he's going to have to fight, and I feel that this is going to activate his big powers, which has been hinted with his arm, especially with that, which a lot of people have mentioned. At first I thought it was just like, oh, maybe it's just like being, you know, shaking the bit, but I did, looking at that panel more carefully, it seems like something was kind of growing out of, and it seemed like he's had that since the start of him returning from this time skip. And what I've noticed about this is that, like, especially Grey, how Grey reacted to it in that one panel. Meaning that, you know, Grey is a Devil Slayer, he knows his demon energy, so maybe that's the part of, like, E.N.D actually coming out of it, maybe now that Natsu's becoming more mature, or, like, what exactly happened now that, like, Ignil is inside of him to protect him, that basically, E.N.D is now about to come out of his body, and it's, like, he's pretty much becoming that, and I imagine that's either, like, him, like, becoming E.N.D, like, he's getting, like, dragon scales around him, so I am very curious. I think that at the end of this arc, like, if he's gonna go full out and say that, like, he is probably gonna go full out, and this is probably gonna end him, like, partially becoming transformed. I feel that's what's gonna happen during the final fight. I don't know particularly who else is Natsu going to fight. I don't think he's going to have to fight Zeref in this arc. He might have a single clash with him, and that might end up, you know, leading into the final arc, but I don't feel about that is exactly going to happen as well. And like from what we've been introduced like so far, like we've only met a couple other people in like the 12 Shields. We've met Brandish, we've met Inbel, we've met Serena, we've met Demiria, Agil, August, and I feel like Serena, especially, that's more Suther and Natsu's kind of fights. Like with Demiria, the War Princess, I feel that's gonna be Urza's fight. Honestly, I think like Urza's gonna fight her on a one-on-one, and this is good. Like maybe she might have to end up getting help from like other people. I feel like Sabretooth's gonna eventually appear in this arc. I feel like Blue Pegasus, like that would actually make it a little bit more interesting if Minerva actually appeared and actually ended up backing up Urza during this Demiria fight. And since she's called the War Princess, I imagine like something is gonna involve like swords or something like that. So I feel like that's where her power is exactly gonna come from. Honestly, I feel Agil, from what we've been hitting, he's controlling sand, and that's also going to have particles in it. I feel like I'm not particularly sure on that one. Like I said, there's still many people there, but the ones that I'm not really too sure on really is like, I have no idea who August is going to fight the old man. Agil, I feel like that one's going to be for Gagil, honestly, with like I said, with the particles. Brandish is the more questionable one with her space manipulation, like that she seems to have. I'm going more with like Lucy's, because Lucy's like powers kind of roam around into that sort of power as well, like, and then not to mention as well, she can fight with like all the different celestial like keys as well, because they have been like shown that does manipulate space as well, going to the celestial spirit world and back forth. So maybe even Brandish might be able to even fuck with that, since we saw that, you know, when like exactly when that one guy like in a group was there, it's like you can't use any kind of spatial magic. So I feel like that's what it's gonna revolve around, and who knows, maybe we might see like Lucy like fuse with the Celestial Spirit King at one point. Like I feel that'd be cool, like she does with all of her celestial dresses. Like we've already seen her do Aquarius, Loki, Taurus, like we've already seen a bunch of others as well. So I feel like that's what that fight's gonna really go down for. I feel as well when Luxus and everyone else arrives on that, that's exactly when they're gonna fight on it. And I feel like the Raijin tribe and some of the lower class Fairy Tail members like Evergreen, Freed, Mist, like Kana, especially as well like Levy, like I feel like they're gonna fight the Fractions, because I feel that's where it's gonna be like Sabretooth. And like this arc can go on for a very long while if they like have a bunch of these Fractions, like we saw like with Brandish as well. Like if I say like they had about like 2, maybe 3 people on their side that are like their most powerless like right-hand men or something like that, I feel that would be great, because then you can have fights on there. But mind you, Larry doesn't like to focus too much on like the other characters. Like maybe you might see a little fight here and there with them, but I would definitely like to see some of those lower class like Fairy Tail characters get like a chapter or so to their little fights, or maybe 2 chapters. I feel like that'd be very reasonable, and that could make this into a very long and interesting arc if like the other characters get a little bit of time to shine. But I'm guessing that a lot of them would just probably be resorted to like supporting the other characters during their fight at one point. Until Natsu is going to lose control at one point, I feel like it's going to be Lucy that's going to be the one that pull him back, because I feel like a lot of the time Lucy is the one that kind of like restrains Natsu on some of the scene. I think, you know, with the bond that they've already shared, and it would remind me of something kind of like Raid Master in a way. Like, I mean, stuff like that has happened in Raid Master before, and I feel like that could like definitely do a lot of things with that. And not to mention as well, like I feel like when we reach the end of the series as well, I feel at one point like Natsu is going to become like his father, like Ignilo. I'm not talking about his real father, because you know every biologically pretty much made. I feel like he's going to like at one point actually become a dragon. Maybe like with all the real other Dragon Slayers, I don't think Lax and Cobra, but I can maybe even see Wendy and Gaji actually become like full-on dragons. At least not them, at least Natsu. Then he'll be able to take on Acnologia, or if like then they'll resort back to going into human form, and then you know they'll punch it out like there. Because from how it's going on, I don't honestly think it's just going to be like a three-way fight. I would like it to be like a three-way fight between Natsu, Acnologia, and Zeref, but I don't really see that. Like, and also as well, it still begs the question, like, with his just demonic side be able to like counter off like the actual like power from what we've seen of like Zeref's death power. So I'm kind of curious like how exactly that's going to roll down. Maybe like Natsu's like can become very fast and he's able to dodge it. But my own prediction, I feel like we're going to have like maybe 2 to 3 more years of like Fairy Tail, because Tyrus is about over a year. Same thing what we've seen with the Grand Magic Games, and we've had like smaller arcs. I feel this could potentially be the longest arc in Fairy Tail, this Alvarez arc. I feel like a good amount would be 80 chapters or so, like 80 to 90 chapters. Like hell, even 100, go for it. Like it just depends like how the fights are. I want them to be well done. Like, you know, I know Fairy Tail could do some stupid shit sometimes. It's not the well thought out story, let's be fucking honest. Like, it's not the greatest story in the world, but you know, I have fun with the series. I really enjoy it. I have a lot of passion for the series. That's why I really own every single volume of the manga and like a lot of Raid Master, because I do love this man's work and I've loved it since my childhood, and I really can't wait what he's going to do for this final arc. And it's like, this man just does great reveals. I mean, I'm really excited for it. So please let me know in the comment section down below, like, what do you think? Because, you know, my opinion don't matter. It's all about your opinion, right, in the end of the day in the comment section. So let me see what you're going to think is going to happen in the final arc, the Fairy Tail, and this arc as well. But that's all from me. So thank you very much for listening to the discussion. I hope you had a great time as much as I did. I've been really wanting to do this, and I really do want to do more discussions in the future like this. So hey, maybe like a couple of chats or something when we see Sarah and his power, or maybe more of the Blue Packers as a mate. Like I might be able to do more of these like later on. But that's all from me. So thank you very much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys next time.